I will share my screen. And so I hope you all can see my screen. This is a technical presentation for the ORC Worlds 25 in Tallinn. We will be focusing on the measurement and the equipment inspections. We start first
Sorry,
with the
Zoran, I don't
explanation.
see it.
Yeah.
Can you try again?
No?
No.
Sorry, just on the first thing. Oh, yeah, maybe it's something wrong. Let me see. Sorry. Now?
Yes.
Okay,
Thanks.
no problem. Thank you. So, what is needed to enter the championship? You obviously need 2025 ORC International Certificate with some requirements. It should be issued no later than 1st August 2025, meaning that you still have 8 days before to have your certificate issued. Your CDL should be between 8 and 16.4, and flotation date not earlier than 8 of August 2020. So the boat flotation should be not more than 5 years. As Piret said, we have 67 entries. So after reviewing all the boats that are currently entered, we have a couple of boats that are without 25 international certificate at this moment. So if you are in this call, then you should do particular attention on this. One of the boat is Susanna 3D. That is new first 30, which I am aware that was recently 3D scanned, and I can say that hull offset file is being processed, will be probably processed soon by the ORC staff, and as soon as it ready, all the other measurements can be completed. So I think that we have it under control, and by the 1st of August, this boat will have the international. If there is any, something that for some reason maybe the conditions are not good, then based on the request from the relevant rating office, we can approve also that certificates to be issued after 1st of August, but obviously before the first start of the race. There are 3 boats that have only RC club certificates, one of which, this Nautinola, I know very good, because this boat has been measured by the technical committee during the double-handed Europeans in Helsinki, and also the owner of the boat will be part of our technical team. He is just chartering this boat, but this boat is only currently has ORC club, but there is no any limitation that the boat shall not have it ORC international by 1st of August. For other 2 boats, if you are here, Xbox and the Luna, please check that you have your certificate issued before 1st of August. I don't know exactly, maybe it was, just waiting for some last minute measurement or something, but anyway, it's important to know that you need to have your certificate issued before 1st of August.
Here's Xbox. It's actually pending on the Danish Sailing Association. It has been measured 2 weeks ago, and I'm just waiting for them to finalize everything. So everything is okay from here, but I'm pending the Danish Sailing Organization.
Yeah, okay. It's good to know that we have it under control. I thought that I got some information that some boats has been measured, but it's important to know that there's one problem less. Thank you. There are 2 boats we have that has a flotation date earlier than 8th of August. This is the Luna, which was also listed before. So I believe that this is boat that probably need completely the measurement, new measurement for ORC International. And there is this Stortebeker. Apologies if I didn't pronounce it correctly. So these 2 boats needs also to be checked. What the requirements of the flotation date not earlier than 5 years is simply to double check that that boat has not been modified or for some reason or out of date with all the measurements or something. So maybe just a check it's at least needed to understand that flotation is as recorded in the certificate. We have one boat that is currently have the CDL out of limit because I said the lower limit is 0.0. This is this boat RTS Baltic, which I'm in contact also with the Latvian rating office, which we would like to check because apparently this was boat that was participating in 21 boards, and some numbers are not really, we were not 100% correct. If their numbers are correct, if they are in one design trim or not, because the boat is Far East 28. In any way, probably this boat will need an additional check, and then we will see hopefully that the numbers will be okay. They will also have some modification on the crew weight, on some other parameters. So probably they will, at this moment, they are out of the saddle limit, but I believe that by the 1st August, they will be okay. So these are also only the boats, which is quite good. We don't have many boats that have some problems at this stage. What is also, so what you need to have measured on the boat, besides obviously, the certificate, is important to have all sails measured. So meaning the all sails, main sail, headset set on the forestay, headset flying symmetric and asymmetric shall be measured according to the IMS rule. Basically, every sail that you have on the boat shall be measured, shall have the measurement stamp with the measurement center like this. In addition, storm and heavy weather sails shall be measured in accordance with offshore special regulations. So all sails shall have a measurement stamp or sticker with all required measurements clearly readable. Any sail without a measurement stamp or measurement clearly readable will be needed to measure at the venue. You can do it, but then the appropriate measurement fee will be charged. And my suggestion is please double check that you have all your sails measurement, that you have all measurements that you can read, and then you can check that the measurements you read on the stamp are those that are in the certificate. It will save some time and money for you, and it will save some time for us. Of course, if you have the sails that are coming from the loft in the very last moment, that is usually happening, we can also do this. But again, the more you do before, the better for you. Please note also that trysail and heavy weather jib needs to be measured. Many times people are simply thinking, I have trysail, it's there. Yes, but we need to understand if the area of this trysail is complying with the rules. I will talk a little bit later when we go through the safety equipment, and particularly on the trysail and the heavy weather jib. We have pre-race equipment inspection is scheduled between Friday 8 August and Sunday 10 August. So Friday and Saturday we are working full days from 9 to 6, except between 1 and 2 o'clock we have lunch break. And the Sunday we have only in the morning. There will be 3 teams. Every day we have slots of 45 minutes that you can select. Just before the start of this meeting, maybe half an hour before, I set up this Doodle online scheduling system where to your email on which you are registered to manage to sail, you should receive an email and go click on that email and select your slot for the measurement check. Couple of boats, I think at least some 7-8 boats already did immediately after receiving this email, and probably as we are speaking, I would expect that probably more, we have even more. So basically, please check this email. It's coming from the system called Doodle. Please don't be afraid that it's not a spam or something like this. There is a clear message that this is online scheduling system for the pre-race equipment inspection. And you only need to select the date and the time you want to be checked. And when you select the date and time, the technical committee will come to you on your place, on your boat. You don't have to come to us. You just have to wait on the boat, and we will come and visit your boat. Once we complete all these boats registration, then we will post the complete schedule on the official notice board. So when you select your slots, you should be, as said, on boat shall be on her designated berth. Be ready with the scheduled time with responsible person, owner and or skipper. Present all sails with the corner taken out from the bearing showing the ORC measurement stamp, so you don't need to put all the sails out of your bags. We need to see the head with the corner where the stamp is. Make a clear decision which sails you want to use during the championship and have all safety equipment ready for inspection. Later, we will go through the particular items of the safety equipment. But let's first start with the sails. So the maximum number of sails to be used in the event, excluding storm and heavy weather sails required by OSR, is defined in ORC Rule 206.1. Basically, these numbers are corresponding to the class 0, A, B, and C. So basically, this is the maximum number of spinnakers you may have. So if you are in class A, you can have only 5 spinnakers. If you have in your inventory or your trailer or your, somewhere, let's say 7 spinnakers, you should decide which 5 of these 7 you should use. On the sails that are selected for the event, there will be event sticker, and only sails marked with an event sticker may be on board during the event. Then, sails carried on board may vary from day to day, but shall remain the same for each race day, including days with multiple races, even in case of damage to sails. So the race day begins when the boat leaves for the race course from its dock or mooring. Basically, this rule says you don't need to have complete inventory, all the sails with this event sticker. You can select at the day when you are going out from the dock or the mooring, you can select the sails for the day. But once you select the sails, you cannot change the number during this day. You may notice that, for example, you are allowed to have even 2 mainsails, but if you go one out on that day with 1 mainsail and that mainsail is broken, you cannot come back and put another one. So it's up to you to decide how many sails you want to have and how many sails you may need during the day. This is important to understand that the principle is that every day you need to decide, okay, these are the sails I'm going out. However, sails damaged during the event may be repaired, and sails beyond repair may be replaced with the permission of the technical committee. But not on the same day or for the next day. If you break up the spinnaker, you can ask replacement. We can remove the sticker and put the new one, but of course we need to check that it is damaged beyond repair. Then the next item we are checking is internal ballast. If there is any, we record weight and position, and internal ballast shall be properly fixed below the cabin sole or as low as possible, fixed to the hull structure to prevent movement. So fixed means permanently fixed. That's by means of bolting, welding, or with some Sikaflex material or something like this, that it is cannot be moved while the boat is moving. So it is not that you just have a piece of lead and put it in a space between below the cabin sole. It needs to be there and also fixed. This is important, and this will be checked. Obviously, it shall also be recorded in the measurement inventory, but we will make the checks and we will make the photos to know how the internal ballast is fixed to the boat. The crew weight is not part of the pre-race equipment inspection. However, there will be official scale available for your own check. Crew weight may be checked during the post-race equipment check, and we will go through it after when we explain what we are doing after the racing. But please note that if it is found greater than maximum or smaller than minimum, the technical committee will protest the boat. That may result in a disqualification. I will probably go again, and I want to emphasize that it's quite important to understand that any excess of crew weight is not a question of comparing certificates. It's simply the rule. This is the value that you can declare. So you simply know how many kilos altogether has your crew. You can always put a safe margin, let's say 10 or 15 kilos on the total value, and then you are sure that you will not be over that number or below the minimum. So be sure to have your crew weight properly declared in the certificate. Before I start with safety equipment, any question about this part so far? No, okay. So safety equipment, on the link on the event website, there is this form that, sorry, I don't know if you can see it now. It's this form that you can probably see now. So this is the form that is available on the event website, on the notice board, on Manage to Sale. So please download this document, go through it, and simply do your check by yourself before we start. Simply go, do I have this? Yes, yes, yes. If you have any questions, any particular, explanation of any safety item, absolutely no problem. You can put it now, but also you can email me, Matteo, if you can please just also put in the chat my email, which is quite easy. It's zoran@orc.org, and then we can,
Sorry, Zoran, should we use the events email instead?
Yeah, make it. Yeah, no problem. Absolutely. Yeah, right. So you can put, the question by email. Coming back to where we are. So be sure that you have all equipment for that list. Be also aware that list is covering the most important items, and there are other rules, and there is always responsibility of the owner to comply with the complete set of OSR category 3. So let's start with this safety equipment. What is needed? You need a navigation light mounted above the shear line so they will not be masked by the sails. Minimum 10 watt if incidence for LOA less than 12 meters, or 25 watt for LOA more or equal to 10 meters. There is a requirement for reserve lights that with same specification, and the spare bulbs that are not required for LID. Then, obviously, we need marine VHF transceiver with minimum output power of 25 watt and masthead antenna with coaxial feeder cable with not more than 40% power loss. In addition to the main marine VHF, and another handheld VHF transceiver is needed, and this should be stowed in the grab bag or emergency container. I will come to the one on the slide about after, just to explain exactly this grab bag and what should be in the grab bag. But please note that you need normal, let's say the fixed one, in addition handheld VHF transceiver. Okay, then you need AIS transponder, which either shares the masthead VHF antenna or has a dedicated AIS antenna. And both AIS shall be active from the first day of equipment inspection until the end of the event. This is, the safety rule that we can always find the boat through AIS. Yes, I know that we probably have also the tracking, but this is additional safety measure. It's also measured for other boats that can see you, and other boats that are not in the regatta, and it can also be used for us in the process while we are doing the checks, simply to verify where the boat is. And very probably when the technical committee members come to you, they can also simply check on the if I see the question on the chat.
Yes, sorry. James is asking if AIS can be switched off during night in the harbor.
No, but by notice of race is required that should be on from the first day of equipment inspection until to the end of the event. I already answered this. Then you need the soft tapered wood plugs, stop the joints to every through hole opening. Fire extinguisher, you need a fire blanket adjusted to every cooking device with an open flame. And 2 fire extinguisher, each with 2 kilos of dry powder or equivalent in different part of the boats. I think this is quite clear. Additional, then you need a searchlight suitable for searching for person overboard at night, and watertight flashlight shall be stored in a grab bag or emergency container, and spare batteries and bulbs for both. Again, there is a reference to the grab bag that I will come back later in one of the following slides. First aid kit and manual. It's needed, and foghorn, rigging cutter, and knife. So rigging cutter basically means an effective means to quickly disconnect or sever the standing rigging from the boat. Hope you will not need it, but it is required either in the form of this, that you can see on the picture, or some, in the case of the fiber rigging, some saw or something that can disconnect the rigging from the boat, and another knife stored in the grab bag. A radar reflector. Can you? Oops.
There's a question from Pietro.
Yeah. Question is what?
Can you get to the aid? Can you?
You mean what? The first aid?
Yes.
You see where we are. This one, first aid kit and manual. Yes, was the question. You can now talk, Francesca, if it is easier.
Pietro, if you wanna talk and ask something. No, I think he just wanted to say have a look again.
Yeah. Okay, thank you. So a radar reflector can be either a passive radar reflector with octaedral signal plates, or non-octaedral with documented rule mean square cross-section area as described here. Also note that in the document, in the checklist that is provided, that I was showing you, the first page is really checklist with the checkboxes, but then it is followed with the 3 pages of explanation with the pictures and reference to the relevant rule. So whenever you have some doubts, or if you don't know what does it mean, you can go to the rule. Yes, there is another. Sure.
Okay. Right. Special regulations do not say how many kg should be one fire extinguisher. Where does this 2 kg requirement come from?
As far as I know, they said 2 kilos. That's we didn't invent it. I don't know. Let me double check. So this is.
It's here on the sec. I just posted. That's the reference.
So yeah, sorry.
Fire extinguisher equal or bigger than 2 kg of dry power.
Yeah,
it's or
that's here. I'm sharing the screen now, so it's
okay.
Here. Here is written. And there was another question.
No, just reply properly to.
Okay,
James.
no problem. Thank you. So go back. No, sorry. Oh, where we were stop. Okay, so okay. Next item we need is we are talking about navigational charts. Yes, there is a requirement, and there has been lots of discussion on a couple of the last championship about paper charts. I mean, the rules are, the OSR still requires navigational charts that are not solely electronic, because it may happen that you don't have any power on the boat. I know that we have lots of charts on your iPod, iPhone, mobile phones, or other electronic equipment, but the paper charts are still required. Obviously, the paper charts required are those that are covering the area where the race will be held. So that's the usual question, because I know that there was lots of questions about this during the double-handed waltz in Helsinki. On the end, all the boats have found it. So just it is possible. Please check well in advance that you have this. In addition, obviously, you need marine magnetic compass, capable of being using a steering compass, and then permanently installed marine magnetic steering compass, and second compass, which may be handheld and all electronic. For the pyrotechnics, yes, there is someone wants to ask something. So.
Nicholas, please go ahead.
Yeah, thank you. There is this about the charts. The Estonians have this chart series that has the equivalent maps than those that are mentioned in the rules. Can those be the same equivalent? Can the equivalent charts be those maps that are needed, or do they have?
Yeah, I think that's
just those that are mentioned.
No. If we have the charts numbers that are mentioned in the rules are more as a reference and as a help explaining you where the race can be held, or particularly offshore race. Requirements for the charts obviously do have navigational charts that are covering the area and that may be used for navigation, so that we know what is marine navigational charts that have all the marks, depths, and lights and things like this. So if you can see that there is a chart that can be used for navigation, then it's okay, even though maybe it's not. The following are recommended and reference. Obviously, if you have those that are recommended, that it's okay. If you have any others, you need to show us that okay, and we need to see that these are the charts that can be used in navigation in that area.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. So about the pyrotechnics, you need 4 red hand flares and 2 orange smoke flares. Later on, we will come again, as I was mentioning, to the grab bag that needs some additional pyrotechnics, but not older than 4 years with no expiry dates. Date it's needed basic pyrotechnics, so 4 red flares and 2 orange smoke flares. You need 2 strong buckets, each with lanyard, and 1 permanently installed manual bilge pump. All manually required bilge pumps shall be operable within the all cockpit seats. Hatches and companion ways shut and with permanently installed discharge pipes of sufficient capacity. All removable bilge pump handles retained by lanyard. Anchors, 2 unmodified anchors with appropriate combination of chain and rope, ready for immediate assembly and ready for deployment within the 5 minutes. The usual question people are always asking us, how much is the rule is, as said, is requiring appropriate to the size of the boat. So I think that we need to use some common sense and put the questions by ourselves. Will you be able to anchor the I don't know, 40-footer with a 5-kilo anchor and no chain? Obviously not. But of course, you don't need to have it. I think that some reference like 1 kilo of chain per meter of the boat or something on the can be used, but it's something that we need to simply look, see the size, the type of the boat, and says yes, this chain may be used, or you need a bit more. But it's important that you have 2, and there are have combination of chain and rope, and they are ready for deployment if in 5 minutes. We don't need to see chain on the bow, rope in the back aft cabin, and chain on some third place of the boat. So it all needs to be together and be ready for deployment in 5 minutes. Life jackets. We had lots of questions about these life jackets for the now also, because for the upcoming ORC Europeans that is starting next week. So the life jacket shall have an emergency position indicating light, whistle, lifting loop, automatic and manual gas inflation system. Basically, the rule is split in the parts that if the life jackets are manufactured before 2011, I think, or after. And what is important that every newer life jacket basically shall be inflatable. It's maybe when you read the rule, it's not 100% clear, but it's requiring an automatic manual gas inflation system. It means that shall be inflatable. So even if you have those life jackets that are, let's say, not inflatable, but made after these days, that those will not comply. So they should be clearly marked with the boat's name and have also a spray hood in accordance with the ISO. And then in addition, you should have at least one gas inflatable life jackets per cylinder. And it is important that life jackets shall be worn while on deck during the offshore races. So this is particular requirement from the notice of race, in addition to the requirement of OSR requiring life jackets as such. Tethers, another famous items that are always discussed and asked many times. So let me explain that the tethers can be either let's call it 2 points or the 3 points, like on these two pictures. The one on the left, 2 points cannot be longer than 1 meter, including the length of the hook and in the most extended position. However, if you have the 3 points, one with the intermediate hook, then it can be between these 2 points can be 2 meters. The tether shall have self-closing hooks, have overload indicator flag embedded in stitching, and be manufactured after 2000. These are, I think, that the most questions we are getting and the most discussions on every checks is about these tethers. So please check your tethers before coming, check if they are okay. If you have any doubts, we can also double check it before, but please sure to have the tethers that are complying with the rule. And now I come back to the grab bag that I mentioned several times. So the grab bag is something that we need to be with the following minimum context. The watertight handheld marine VHF transceiver that we were mentioning before. The watertight flashlight with the spare batteries and the bulb that was also mentioned before. Then 3 red hand flares that are in addition to 4 already required. The watertight strobe light with the spare batteries. And the knife that is in addition to one that is already required in the cockpit. So if you can see, there are some items that were before on the list, and that are some items that are in addition to those already required. So this is also explained, as said, in this pages 3 and 4 that are giving you some details about the checklist. Again, please go through it and be sure that you have everything what is needed. Usual question is, do I need 3 more red hand flares? The answer is yes, you need 3 more red. Why? Because if you find yourself in a way that you really need a grab bag, it may be very possible that you already deployed some of this originally required. So this is additionally to have it. I can also say that we may write some submissions to clarify or to make the rules a bit more easier to understand and to follow, but for the moment we are following the rules as they are written, and this is how I'm trying to explain. Additional item is Lifebuoy with required self-igniting light, whistle, and the drogue within the reach of the helmsman and ready for immediate use. A heaving line no less than 6 millimeters in diameter and 15 to 25 meters long, readily accessible to the cockpit. And recovery sling. So recovery sling is required, let's say, for it's the practically device that helps you to lift out the boat out of from the water. There is requirement of buoyant line of length not shorter than 4 times LOA or 36 meter, buoyancy section with no less than 90 Newton, and basically it is piece of equipment needed as such. Many times for someone is asking, do I need only the horseshoe, and that I usually have, but this is not enough to lift up the person from the sea. So the recovery sling is needed to lift up the person to hoist the crew member aboard. Lifelines. very important to understand that lifelines shall be stranded stainless steel wire. Dyneema lifelines are not allowed in category 3, even on the transom or all around the perimeter of the deck. So the lifelines shall every be of the stainless steel. The only thing that is very small lanyard of synthetic rope may be used to secure just of the gap when the close is not more than 100 millimeters, but basically the lifeline shall be of stainless steel and shall be always taut in a way that if you apply the flexion, the 4 kilos in the middle of the lifeline, the upper or single shall not deflect more than 50 millimeters, and intermediate on double shall not deflect more than 120 millimeters. It's also important to know that the stanchions shall be not more than 2.2 meters apart, and also if you have very wide transom, very possibly you may need to have mid station in the transom also, just as you may need the third lifeline on the transom on the cockpit. Depends on the height, total height of the cockpit, because there is a minimum gap, vertical distance between the lifelines is also defined. So please double check, but most important here is to know that Dyneema lifelines are not allowed. I know that some boats may have it, and if you have it, you may need to replace it before coming to the championship. Jack stays shall be independent on each side of the deck, enable the crew member to move readily between the working areas, have a braking strength of 2040 kilos, and be a coated and not sleeve stainless steel wire of minimum diameter webbing or HVA rope. But jackstay needs to be mounted on the deck for the offshore races only from the moments when both are leaving the dock. So this is the question. I think that I had some question for the Europeans where they can be attached. They should be attached to the permanently installed fittings, so that there is the fitting on which the jackstay is connected should be permanently installed, should not be something that is temporary or can be easily removed. So there should be clipping point that is permanently installed on the boat. So clipping point shall be adjusted to the station, such as the helm sheet, winch to the mast, and shall enable the crew member to clip on before coming on deck and unclip after going below. And this is the things like this is permanently installed because it cannot be removed. So it's easy. Now we are coming back to the storm and heavy weather sails, mentioned also before when we are talking about the sail. But requirement for the category 3 is that you need to have either heavy weather jib, heavy weather jib with area not greater than 30.5 height of the 4 triangle square. Basically, the minimum area is written on your certificate. When you see the certificate, there is a box or area with explaining storm sail areas. So the heavy weather jib here in this case for this boat is 3967. So your heavy weather jib shall be measured and the area of this shall be less than this one. Please note that storm jib is not required here, but obviously if you have the storm jib, it's the smaller than heavy weather jib and can fulfill the requirements. So you can have only heavy weather jib. And then please know that the sail that you declare or you account as a special regulation sail is not counted in the number of the head sail you are allowed. Then you may have either the trysail or mainsail reefing to reduce the luff by at least 40%. Reducing the luff at least 40% is quite a lot. It's probably the second reef at least, even probably in some cases more. And if you choose to have mainsail with reefing, then we may measure to understand, yes, that the reefing comply with this rule. If you have two mainsails, both needs to have this possibility. to have the reefing for at least 40%. I would say that probably it's easier to have the tri-sail rather than playing with this 40%, but rule is as such, and I leave it up to you to decide which way you want to comply with the rule, either with the tri-sail or reefing by 40%. Material of the body of the storm sail after 2013 shall have highly visible color, dayglow pink, orange, or yellow. I think that's for the Europeans. Someone was asking if red is acceptable. I would say that yes, red seems as a highly visible color, but obviously white or something or gray or something is probably not, but pink, orange, or yellow, yes. And as said before, storm and heavy weather sails shall be measured. Additionally, emergency tiller is capable of being fitted to the rudder stock is needed, except so when the emergency tiller is not needed, when the principal method of steering is by means of unbreakable metal tiller, or there are two methods of controlling a rudder, neither of which share components with other except for the rudder stock. Basically, with the boats that, for example, has a twin rudders and twin system to control the rudders. If you can control the rudder without, sharing the components of the other, then you don't need to have emergency tiller. So this conclude the part of the safety equipment. I don't know if at this stage, if there is any other questions, please go on. And then the last and the following part is explaining what we are checking after the racing. So what we are checking after the racing. On the water, we will have technical committee members that will approach boats selected randomly, and basically we are checking the presence of event stickers on the sails on the boat. So obviously all the sails that are on board needs to have event sticker, meaning that they have been checked before the start of the race. The position of items recorded in the measurement inventory, if you have it, any more, heavy ride, and major OSR compliance, such as tension of the lifelines. So these are the things that are checked on the water. At the dock after the racing, and you will be informed probably through the WhatsApp group or communication way of communication with the competitors, which boats are selected for the checks. So in each class, first boat in overall is checked for the flotation. We will meet you on the mooring place and then define the details about the time and location. Second boat in each class, when selection is made, sail measurement check. The largest of each mainsail, headset set on the forestay, symmetric, asymmetric spinnaker. All headsets are flying and all asymmetrics with less than 85% ratio. These sails will need to be checked, simply remeasured to understand if they are okay, they are complying. And then here we are coming to the crew weight, as said, so we are making the crew weight check after the race. The crew shall be weighted in the light street clothes. This means minimum as a short trouser, t-shirt, and a flip-flop as a minimum. The usual question is, people are asking how it should be weighed, and this is truly defined how it should be. And then the same criteria of first, second, third is applied after on the next day, except that when you are checked, if you are checked for the freeboards, for example, for the first date, you will not be checked for that. You may be checked for other things on the next day. And then if we have the boats that are already checked, we can go further to the fourth, fifth, sixth boats. And basically our plan is to have every boat that is finishing by the end of the race, probably in the top 10, top 5 for sure, and top 10 very probably, be checked for at least something during the 7 days of the championship. Independently from the results, we may check any boat if there is any measurement protest, or if there is something that is found unusual, or if there is some doubt of concern that something is not complying with the rule. Hopefully it will not need it, but please know that we can check any boat at any time, basically. So if we find that the boat does not comply with the ORC rules, the technical committee shall protest the boat, and it may protest the boat for any infringement of the offshore special regulation. If we have on the flotation check, we will start with the freeboard measurements. If there is a difference, because obviously and very probably there will be difference on the freeboards because of the just for probably amount of the fuel in the and also the salinity of the water when we are measuring. We will do the test certificate with the new numbers, and then we will compare the APH. If the difference between two APH is less than 0.1%, what we'll consider in compliance, and if it is more, then we will continue with also with inclining test. Then when we complete everything, another test will be done, and to see that if the difference of APH is greater than 0.1%. If it is greater, the technical committee will protest the boat, and then we will apply this ORC rule 305.2. ORC 305.2 basically defines difference in a rating of the boat and the penalties according to the percentage of difference. So if the difference in any check and any comparison of the test certificate with the new measured and original certificate is less or equal than 0.1%, then everything is okay. No protests, and both is deemed to be comply with the certificate. If the difference is a bit more than 0.1 but less or equal than 0.25, there is no penalty, but a new certificate shall be issued based on new measurement, and all races will be rescored. I always say that please note that in the level of the World Championship, we can often have the results defined in a corrected time difference on maybe second or two, or very, very small. And then when you come to this 0.1 to 0.25, recalculation of certificate may change the results. And there will be a protest. We still need to protest. Sometimes we are discussing, should this be automatically, let's say, the penalty that is automatically applied without the protest. But for the moment, we need to protest, and because we simply need to give you the possibility to explain why there is this difference on your certificate. If you have the difference more than 0.25% but less than 0.40%, then we are in the dangerous area, because the boat then shall receive a scoring penalty of 50% of did not finish, rounded to the nearest number, in any race in which her rating was incorrect, and still he will have the new certificate to be issued and all races to be rescored. So basically, if you come to this position, I'm pretty much sure that if you are checked because you were on one of the top 3 places, after this, if your rating is so different, you will probably be out of game for staying on the top 3 places. If the difference is 0.4% or more, boat is disqualified, and in any race, and the protest the boat cannot continue the race until put all the non-compliance in order with her certificate. I really hope that this will not be needed, but again, this is the rule that is clearly defining the procedures after the measurement protest. So if you have any doubts, please double check this rule, and I really hope that we will not need to go further than 305.2a in these checks, meaning that all boats will comply with the share certificate, but this is to inform you and to explain you the procedures. Again, if the crew weight is found greater than the maximum or smaller than the minimum, the technical committee will protest the boat. And all the story that I just explained about comparing the APH does not apply for the crew weight. Again, I'm repeating, because the crew weight is a value declared by the owner, so there is no excuse in saying, but I was just, I don't know, 5 or 10 kilos above the limit. If I recalculate my certificate, the difference will be like such and such and such. No, because it is you declare and it is your responsibility to be this. There are also few more items that are declared by the owner, like use of asymmetric spin attack on the center line only and adjusting the mass foot while racing. So every item that you declare and you are found to break this rule, then it's not a question of comparison of APH. It's a simply question of penalty that may be disqualification. What can be modified during the championship? So crew changes. Once the entry is accepted, each boat shall submit the crew list that shall include all crew members who will be on board at the start of the first race. So the crew list that you are submitting only the crew members on the first race. After the first race, you can request the changes in the crew basically by notifying the race to the race office, basically through the manage the sales system. This means that adding new member, replacing or disembarking. Crew changes will be automatically approved provided that the crew weight after the change is within the limits defined in the certificate, within minimum and maximum. So basically, your crew weight in any combination you have should be always within the minimum and maximum. So if you know that at some point you will, for example, sail with 10 crew members and this 10 will have 800 kilos, and you start with first day with 8 crew member, and you are adding 2 crew member, you need to know that after adding these 2 crew member, you are still within the number recorded in the certificate. So when you are declaring the crew weight, take the biggest number of crew that you may have and declare crew weight as such. The only limitation is that substituted crew member from one boat shall not be aboard or any other competing boat for the remainder of the series. The question is, on the same boat, can you, for example, on the first day go out and then come back on the second day and then on the third day go out? Yes, that's all okay, provided that 2 requirements are fulfilled, that crew weight is within the numbers of certificate, and then that if you go out from one boat, you cannot go out to any other boat. Equipment changes, as said, substitution of damaged or lost equipment is not allowed unless authorized by technical committee. You need to require it in the first reasonable opportunity. If it includes sales damage beyond repair, please present the damage, and we need to find that the sales is damage beyond the repair and replacement can be approved. I think this is more or less completing my presentation. And now I'm open.
Zoran, there is a question.
Yes.
From Ray about the mass jack on board.
Yes.
If, they are allowed to have the mass jack on board if they declare adjustable mass jack? No.
Okay, so this is the question
That's a
hot topic, a never-ending story. So let me put like this: some boats may have the mass jack that can be removed from the boat. Some boats have the mass jack pump built in within the mast and cannot be removed. In any way, if you declare that you are not using, not let's say adjusting the mast base of the mast while racing, if you declare it, and if you are not doing this, you don't have to care about it. My first question is if you are sure that you are not doing, then you don't get, then you are for sure okay. However, in the case of some protest or something, there is responsibility of the owner who declared, kind to prove that, okay, I didn't use it. It can be proved by the picture or something saying that it was physically disconnected from the mast or from the hydraulic system or something. But the the answer is simple. If you are not using, you don't have to care about it. So it is allowed to use it in between the races, because the rules apply while racing, which assumes from the preparatory signal to the finish. But also you may declare that you will use it while racing, then you will get some rating assessment, which frankly, when you compare it with the number and of the rating, is not so big and so great penalty. So basically, it's up to you. Decide. You will be using it, declare it. You know that you will not using it.
I guess, Zoran, what people are worried about is like a check after the race. The inspector that goes on board, they see the mask check, and they have declared no on their certificate. So they, obviously they worry about being penalized or. So
no, we can, the mask check can be on the board, and you can use it between races. It's even if if you just see that mask check is on the board, that we probably don't see. I think it's more the questions that I had from the other championship. People were saying, what will be if other boat is protesting me that I was using this? And then again, I'm saying, if you know that you are not using, then you don't need to care about. Then you are probably sure. Otherwise, you may find a way how you want to prove it that you are not using it. Or the other option is that you believe that you still, for some reason, you may use it, then you can declare it and then use it and get rating assessment. I hope that I answered. Unfortunately, and I have to admit that this rule has been discussed lengthily in the last AGM when we were drafting and redrafting the rule and looking everything. Frankly, I'm still not sure that there is any other option to define this rule other than as it is now, and to trust to the declaration of the people and understand that sailing is self-policing sport, and it is expected from the sailors to accept the rules when they, not just as a magic pump. Just for example, we will probably not put the plumps or something on the engines, but it is not expecting that during the night the boats will turn on the engine. It's a similar thing. We can probably also not control because we are not on the boat all the time. I hope that answered.
Yeah, in chat there are no more questions.
Okay. Any other questions through the chat? Not to chat, you can now speak. Again, if you have any particular question, I think that Matteo put in the email address on which you can send. And from now, before the start of the championship, we will try to answer yours so you can get easily prepared, and the more things you solve out before coming there will be, it's I have to say that in the last years we are doing lots of these presentations and the checklist and post everything, and then still after that we have people coming and missing some items. So I hope that we will reduce this. But there was something.
Sorry, no, there is there is a new one. There is a new trend to use heavy weather jib as additional head sail while racing. Are there requirements on how heavy weather jib should be connected to the boat?
Yes, the heavy weather jib. I will now read you exactly the rules. Sorry, just a moment. So the heavy weather jib shall obviously have the area, as said, less than what is defined, and shall have readily available method independent of the glove groove to attach to the stay. So it's not that. So it means that besides the normal way of the glove groove, shall have some hooks or some ways to put it on
some clips.
To clips or something. So this is different. So it's not that you just simply take your Genoa number 4 and saying I will use it only on the group and count this as my heavy weather sail, because there is this additional requirement for the heavy weather sail. Anything else? If not, thank you all. I hope that was useful. I hope that, yeah, go on.
I just have one addition, because just yesterday we sent out a reminder to all the teams to check, not to check only, but also fill out the entry form with the names, and also for the Corinthian teams with the World Sailing IDs and categorizations for Group 1. But today appeared that the World Sailing system is basically not working again. So basically, I think I got already 5 emails today, people trying to log into the World Sailing either profiles, even to create the World Sailing ID is not possible. So I'm in contact with the World Sailing, people from this committee. So my question is now whether we should extend the deadline, because at the moment we have the deadline on 25th of July. In case the system is not working, we cannot do anything from our side. So basically, we can just say that, I don't know, let's say 1st of August, let's try again, and maybe the World Sailing will fix or do something about the system. So that's the only option. Otherwise, people are just, trying. And
I think that it's important that the boats registered or sent your request to be categorized as a Corinthian before the deadline. So they completed.
That's what they are doing. Yeah.
That's important. And then the question when you will actually check and how you will check because of this probably can be given some.
But just, because probably in this group also there are people who are either sailing under Corinthian division or such. So basically that's currently the issue we are facing with.
Yeah. Okay. Anyone wants to add anything? Or you want to, this is Spirit, anything else for the last comment, closing important before we start, or I think we covered more or less everything. So thank you everyone. I'm looking forward to meet you in Tallinn. If you have any questions, please email us, and I'm really looking forward to another great event in Tallinn. Thank you all.
Thank you. Welcome.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye.